So then, what can cats and the Wolfram language teach us about our realm of persistence? Well, you all know what that means. We conjecture ahead.
Although this is going to be weird, and it's going to be about a different.
Title of the conference was something like "Ground Truth" or "Turtles All the Way Down," and so it seems as though there's one Ruliad. I don't think it rules them all, and it might be just hyper rulial turtles all the way down.
Yes, it's on the back of an infinite number of hyperrulial turtles.
Various people are commenting on the outrage of hacking the universe on a MacBook Air.
Hey guys, what's going on? Memes here. Yes. Thank you, Professor Wolfram. That's a upload within the past month or two to Professor Stephen Wolfram's personal blog right here. Generative AI space and the mental imagery of alien minds. To be fair, I just really wanted to do it because the cat picture was cool and everything. But that got me to thinking, how do minds work? All I know is my mind, it can be a scary place. Occasionally it might get something right, usually with the guidance of a lot of other smart people, though. But, okay, I didn't throw all the math stuff here because I didn't just want to be a full wall of text. It probably may not have even fit there. But all I know, hey, what's going on, my fellow comrade? How are we doing down there? But down there, no, you're beside me. But all I know is we're gonna go into some maths. If maths hurts you, I apologize. This might not be the best place at the time. I would go check out Rich from Let's Find Out. He at least does some cool math ASMR type stuff. But all I know is, what do we got here? All right. The first thing is, one of the things that Thad had noticed and he taught me is there's a very interesting coinky-dink when you multiply the Planck mass times the Planck length and you put that all over the Planck charge squared. Comes out to this number right here, which happens to be the Ampere constant. In its magnitude, it's precisely 10 to the negative 7 kilogram meters per second squared ampere squared. God, that's a mouthful. That's why we just call it an ampere there. All right, that's neat. Its interpretation, it's magnetic permeability. As we can see, we have our basic dimensions here. And since charge is basically just a derivative of time and current, that's what it breaks down into. But we can basically roll this together with charge. Cool. It's the inversion. When we take the Planck charge and we throw Planck charge squared, put it over the Planck mass times the Planck length, and you just do to the negative if you want in the denominator, and just keep it positive if you want in the numerator there. Groovy. It gives you precisely 10 to the 7 joules per Tesla squared cubic meter, or, oh God, 1 times 10 to the 7 second squared amperes squared per kilogram meter. Try saying that 3 times. I'm not going to do it this time. Maybe later. It is known as, we use meters per Henry, or 157.9 magnetic Coulomb constant values. Cool. It's known as magnetic volume susceptibility. Wait a second. Magnetic permeability. Magnetic volume susceptibility. Well, I think we got a few more interpretations here. Let's see. I think we need to reload because I've had this tab open for far too long. Here we go. It's just very interesting thing to say. Or relusivity. Relusivity. Sitivity. Relusivity. Relusivity. There we go. Relusivity. Oh, God, we're going. Well, obviously, we need more coffee. I'm out of coffee. It's okay. These things happen. I know. It's, well, this is the thing that gets you going. Let's reload this guy, too. Oh, what a terrible host. Here we go. There's our friend over here. Incremental permeability. Okay, so basically something magnets and inductance density. Oh, that's cool. Okay. There's going to be a whole lot of numerology here. I'm not saying this is a thing, but oh, hey, Kelly. Yeah. Reluctance. I'm going to need to practice these things. Okay, resistance to current change. Okay. Gotcha. See, I'm going to want to probably bring this around to ohms at some point. I'm not there yet. That may have already been there, and as well as maybe some other folks. But I'm just going to play around. So just start playing around. Let's take the speed of light divided by the Planck mass. Oh, look, 137. Okay, it doesn't really matter there. Well, it's just kind of cool. Okay. What's the Planck mass divided by the speed of light? Oh, 26 times 10 to the negative 17 kilogram seconds per meter. We don't have any named quantities or anything for that. All right, let's get a little more simple. It's 1 over the speed of light. Oh, 3.336 times 10 to the negative 9. Hey, I'm competitive. Thank you for joining. It's coil. I actually, at some point, I wouldn't mind having a little workshop and maybe starting to do some of those coils and stuff. I don't know. It seems kind of magical, and some of my friends from the greater anti-gravity community, they go all off on these things, and I'm not saying they're wrong. It's just, I don't know, to each their own. I always kind of liked it, but I occasionally shock myself. They say, oh God, I was a terrible maintenance guy. I only made a light blow up once. Didn't quite blow up, it short, I wired it wrong. It's my bad. Okay, so what happens when we get 1 over the Planck mass? Okay, let's do that. Get this 4595 times 10 to the 7. I keep noticing these 10 to the 7s, 10 to the negative 7, and I'm like, it seems really interesting. Just because one of the things that I noticed is right around 7 significant digits, some of our constants in nature, they seem to get kind of like speed of light. We got to like 9 significant digits. It's I think Planck's constant, we got to I think like 9 or 10 significant digits, something like that. But the Planck constants, coincidentally, if we're going by the NIST CODAD and stuff, we have them out to 5, 7, if you include the error. But what's that saying? I've done videos before on that, but this is just strictly speculation on my part. We continue. So I saw that number. What's that number? 1 over the Planck mass. That 4595 times 10 to the 7 reciprocal kilograms. What the heck is a reciprocal kilogram? It's mass to the negative 1. What could that mean? Well, just entertaining some ideas. So I'm like, all right, let's throw that in here as a unit. Okay, inverse mass. So I'm like, all right, let me do 1 over the Planck mass, and let's divide it by 2 pi. The very interesting thing is, I think we were going to get into a couple other things here, but probably later in another video. Okay, why is there 2 pi in Planck's constant and the Planck mass? I mean, Planck time doesn't have 2 pi in it. I mean, was it Planck length doesn't have 2 pi? I mean, the Kali is basically just 2 pi r or Planck length, or 2 pi Planck length and everything. Oh, to make a circle. I'm like, okay, but that's added in. Its elementary unit does not already have that built in. You'd think if something was going to have it in, maybe that would. Neither do the Planck charge nor the Planck temperature. Why does the Planck mass, a unit of mass, and Planck's constant have 2 pi built in? Because often we'll also use the reduced Planck's constant. What's that? The Planck mass divided by 2 pi. And h bar. That's h divided by 2 pi. That's not for the scope of this video. I literally was just realizing this more recently. I'm like, wait a second, that's really interesting. That's for another time. Somebody remind me. I really need to write these things down more. But, okay. So I threw it out there. Okay, that's cool. But what was it? Those reciprocal 1 over the Planck mass. And then I'm like, wait a second. What was it? We had I threw away the 2 pi. I did, because I'm like, all right, we're gonna do something reduced Planck mass there. All right, so let me just take 1 over the Planck mass, and then what happens if we set it to 10 to the 7? 10 to the 7 was the magnitude of our magnetic volume susceptibility, reclusivity, relusivity, reluctivity. We'll get it someday. Okay, it's 10 to the 7 Lees. Okay. What happens if we just set that magnitude to that? And again, this is just pure speculation on my part. So we throw that in there, but then it was doing the mass and everything. So I'm like, let me just take out the magnitude. We do the Planck mass based upon just whatever the co-data is. I'm like, okay, we throw that in there. Okay, it gives us that 10 to the, what was it? 10 million. Okay, 10 to the 7. Cool. All right. So what happens? We factor that out, that 10 to the 7. We just have this number here. And again, this is where it's just strict numerology. I'm not saying this is everything, but every once in a while I find something that's interesting. Hey, Leo, what's going on, my dude? Yeah, no, we're doing this thing. I'm mixing it up. I'm kind of a big Kaiju and Godzilla fan, so I've been doing some of the things through my little fan theory trailer earlier. But I'm like, before I forget about some of the stuff, let me just bring open the tabs again. Let me go through it. A lot of this is just for my own sake. So I basically, if there's a dead end, which it likely is, I don't keep going down the same dead end. I can search my own channel. And if somebody notices something that's really cool, fantastic. Let me know if you want. But, okay. So I got this number here. And one of the things that I noticed, got some cool things here. Was it? Oh, yeah. But you see these extra terms. We got to add the 1, the CETs, the Embry-Fellman constant, which, at least according to one of the calculations, that claim that might actually explain, Einstein's lambda. There's an interpretation of it that sort of makes sense to me. I want it to be the other thing, but it does seem to make sense. But when I notice for possible closed form here, I'm like, that's interesting. It's 2 times the square root of 5 divided by 7 times e. It goes for 5 significant digits according to that. I'm like, okay. So what do we have? We had okay, we have 5 significant digits there. Oh, sorry, skipping ahead. Okay. So that's interesting. Again, what's my interpretation? Why does that catch my eye? Just as somebody, and again, we're trying to have a geometric interpretation, whatever that may mean. Again, it is probably absolutely nothing. But just as somebody that's done some searching with that at the monastery, occasionally when you see things here, if we were going to write this into the quote-unquote monastery lingo, what would this be? My interpretation is 2, working with a model that happens to use a double cover. So anytime you see 2 for something, that kind of makes sense. Makes sense if you're going to have 1 doing one thing, 1 doing another. I mean, it's not like the electron has 2 radii or anything, right? But I digress. All right. You get the square root of something. Very often, at least the Joe one from the hyperbolic vortex equation, when you square that, you get, at least according to Wolfram alpha, the fine structure constant, to basically the uncontested digits. There are some experiments that say that it's different. Totally fine. Full disclosure. The other thing that you notice, basically, if you take the square or square root of something, that's something fairly standard. It's basically going through some form of a transformation there. Is it holographic? I don't know. But basically, 5 is the number of dimensional ingredients we need to make up our realm of persistence, or as we colloquially call it, universe. Those dimensional ingredients are time, space, charge, mass, and temperature. Groovy. This is divided by 7. 7 is the break in scale symmetry for a circle. So basically, within a circle, you can have a maximum of 7 equally sized circles to break the symmetry. So basically, you have 6 circles with one center in the center, and the circles are all basically kissing each other. They're just like lining up and balancing out there. It's basically within the notation on the board and everything, and within the book 44. Basically, this is a red N, the number of dimensions we're working with, and this is blue B, the break and scale symmetry. And I see 2. Let's multiply by E, the base of natural logarithms. Also, once you get outside, I believe for the Planck constant, maybe excluding the time one, which is basically the minimal turtle, is the claim it is. Hollywood basically says it's compactified. I'm still a little unclear what that means. I just know it's really freaking small, and I'm seeing it as a Planck frequency, basically just revolutionary. That's how I'm seeing it. That's what I got in my mind. Interpretations may vary, but I'm like, okay. So you have potential double cover of the square root of the 2 main numbers that we have labels for in the thing times the base of natural logarithms. Pure speculation on my part. I just think, yes, the numbers 5 and 7 catch my eye. Yes, 6 is afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9. Oh, God, I love that. I love that. Yeah, no, and just this is just kind of how my mind works. I look at things, and that's what kind of why I had the Wolfram cat AI meme. He starts off with a grumpy cat, and it translates. God, I don't know how large a how many GPUs he got to try to help generate this. And you look at it, you got cats in party hats, and it goes to that, and it's got the cat head there, and it kind of goes to a leopard diffeomorphism, and then goes like this. And I saw some of this on the Wolfram Institute. They also have a YouTube channel as well. So you like that, feel free to check them out. They also have a Discord available. Interesting stuff. I believe Jonathan just stepped up as the new director of the Wolfram Institute. Oh God, the live stream that him and Professor Wolfram had, like they literally skipped the whole science Q&A to just be like entertain ideas and the philosophy, the waxing and away. Oh God, I miss it. It's good to have you back, Jonathan. But oh, where was I going with this? I apologize. Okay. So we have this here. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Just nifty. Just trying to see if it makes sense. Okay, then I went to other things. Okay. So why am I saying any of this stuff at all? I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of the chat on this. But the Coulomb constant, so basically you get the 1 over the 4 pi, so basically a sphere times the electric constant, cool. So you got that the 8.98 yada yada times 10 to the 9 meters per farad. Okay, that's cool. This is something I got from Fractal Woman. Is that when you take that, when you take the speed of light squared, it's this, speed of light squared, 8.99, excuse me, 8.988, 8.9, if we round that up, that's 88, that's 10 to the 9. Well, what happens if we multiply it by our initial 10 to the negative 7? Let's find out. Just throw that there. I throw that there. We throw a little brackets to protect ourselves, because remember, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Boom. All right. Oh, looky. We got the speed of light squared. Then we multiply it by Ampere's constant, a 10 to the negative 7. Oh, wait, go back, wrong tab. It appears to come out to be the Coulomb constant. Huh. Inverse permeativity. Hey, what's going on, brother? But yeah, no, it's very interesting what's going on. Signal ray in 2D is analogous to 12 spheres around one sphere. See, I meant to look that up. Oh, this is why I need to learn all like the stuff like that. But yeah, well, it's very interesting. The sphere package. That's the thing. Apparently, I forget if it's sphere or circle or which it is, but for some reason, 5 dimensions, I believe, is where sphere packing or some type of packing is the top type. I am unsure of that, but what else we got here? No, that's basically it. So we're going from the Coulomb constant because we had the 159 there. Excuse me, 157. Oh, my minds are all over the place. But there wasn't really a complete point. I just noticing these things, and charge just keeps seeming to be a thing. Charge keeps seeming to be a thing. But I don't know. Is it electric and magnetic all the way down? I don't know. I've asked that question. Whatever that is, I don't know. I don't know. It's okay, Brenda. I know you're very excited. It's fine. But this is all I really got right now. Just putting a little placeholder here. I'll have a better interpretation of what might actually be going on later. But all I know is take care of yourselves, everyone. It's a wacky and wild world out there. But I've got some hope coming. Perhaps on an internet near you. Peace out, everybody.